In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned. And frozen.
And your religious leaders are proven you can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Shalom. Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969, and is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority to be the leader of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time. Or in other words, the chosen shepherd over the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time. Want to say Yahweh Basham Yahushai Barakatam to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Ailatan Basham Yahushai to the sisters. Welcome to our Sunday evening scripture breakdown class. All right, what we're looking at today now? We're looking at your oppressor being transformed into an angel of light. What do we mean by that? Who is the oppressor? Who is public enemy number one?
The slave master, the white man.
The ones who had us in slavery, the white man. All right? He is the one that is in the Bible. He is described as a low down, grimy person, one without how to put it now? Well, a word I can use, the one without scruples, the one without any couth, the one without any principle, the one who is just, I'm sure we call the nigger, you know. The term where them use nigger fat to describe us, and them should have called so, you know. Yeah, man. Well, you know, when the Most High shall bring him down, we will coin a phrase for his name. But, you know, that spirit that is placed on Esau comes from those Cain who killed Abel, right? It's the same spirit that was placed on Cain. All right. Before we touch that, let's go to Isaiah. Book of Isaiah 14, reading from So I need to start from 1. August 14.
Class 5, book of Isaiah 14.
All right, reading from verse 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 3. And it came to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up these proverbs against the king of Babylon and say, oh, as the oppressor seized, the golden city seized.
All right, so it shall come to pass, meaning it is going to happen. Now, when you look at where these things were written, you know,
Chapter 14, eh?
when you look at when, you can tell them the page, I think they are similar Bible. So the page number, one thing would correspond. Look at the page number. You know.
In there, Isaiah.
When you look at
14. Where they are, chapter 14.
When this was written,
They are 5.
from the time of Isaiah the prophet. Isaiah walked this earth in from the BC, you know.
God.
Something BC. How much years before Christ Isaiah walked this earth? And this was written from then, telling you that it is going to happen in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou, meaning you, shall take up this proverb. What's a proverb?
Like a saying.
A saying. Give me my official meaning.
Okay.
According to scriptures, proverb.
Proverb, a short, well-known, pithy saying, stating a general truth or piece of advice.
So it is a saying, stating a general truth or piece of advice. All right. You ever hear the term they talk about Jamaican proverb? It's just advice. If you can't, your parents say, if you can't hear, you will feel. Your parents is giving you an advice that you should listen, you should hear. Because if you can't hear, you're going to get whipping. That's an advice. So back to the scriptures now.
Verse 5.
No man, the same one.
Read it back. Verse 3.
No man. Verse 4. Thou shalt take up this saying, advice against the king of Babylon. Now this will be a saying, you know, this won't be an advice. How at the oppressor cease, the golden city cease. It's like you're saying, how has this happened? Every one of Esau's oppressor descendant that you see, you're saying, how has this happened to you? And it's not only us, you know, the other nations will be saying it too. Yes, every nation will want to say, just like how we out of slavery now, you look on track and field. And you look how we run left them and all that. I hear people say, I still can't understand how these people did manage to oppress us. Because we outrun them in everything.
Yeah.
Those sport event which they leave like an elite sport event, you know. They just don't want you in it because the day you go in it,
Yeah, but we tell you that.
game over for them.
Yeah.
Look at golf.
Right. Tiger.
Golf was exclusively a white sport until Tiger would just come in and show them the proper way to swing.
Yeah.
Right. But what this is telling you is that this time is going to come where their entire domination on this earth is going to cease.
Yeah.
Is going to stop, and it shall be no more. And who is Babylon? Today, this is referring to none other than
America.
right. So the Oscar goes to
America. Yeah.
for Babylon the Great
Yeah.
today. Why? Because, and when this was written, Babylon, this is called, all right, America is called referred to really as the daughter of Babylon.
Yeah.
So the original Babylon was still in existence, you know,
Yeah. When this was written.
when this was written.
Yeah.
So just imagine the doubt and thing people had when that Babylon fell and none of this happened. They said, hold on, but I thought this was supposed to happen, and Isaiah did say this, and I, not knowing that you're gonna wait approximately 2,500 years more before you actually see the fulfillment of what Isaiah and Ezekiel prophesied that would happen on Babylon. Now, this is the mysteries of the Bible. So much a mystery, but we should not make it so much a mystery. Why? Because from the time we were in the wilderness with Moses, which was hundreds of years before Isaiah, it was written in Deuteronomy 28 and 68 that we were going to serve ultimately in Egypt again with ship, and no man is going to free us. When we served in the first Babylon, we had a liberator in the form of a Persian. So, what name again?
First Babylon.
Yeah, when it fell and became Media Persia.
Okay.
And then Cyrus.
Okay.
And then Cyrus had pity, because it's actually more than pity now. He was, he felt good to know that he was stated in prophecy to be the one to free the Jews.
Okay.
So he did it. Much to the distaste of other nations, which is why they killed him shortly after. I think it was his own children, his own sons, plot on him and kill him. Because every nation that had the children of Israel saw the monetary wealth that came with them. And then you just let them go. So, deserve to be king, before you pass the throne to me with them and all that. But the Most High chose him as that liberator. Which other liberator after that? None. We weren't shown any pity by any other nations after that. And if you remember the story, when Cyrus made the decree, who was the major oppressor? The present ones that are ruling Babylon now. Esau's descendants. They were the ones who was telling, no, you can't free them people here. Some rebellious people ever know. No, you're going to call us rebellious because we're not listening to you.
You're in charge.
You're in charge of it. So it's like me, you know what, tell my neighbor saying pity them rebellious to me. Because me tell them, so this is Esau, you know. I tell them to do XYZ and they don't want to do. The pity them rebellious, like. But the children are doing what the parents say. Right? So when Esau was calling us rebellious, he wasn't calling us rebellious because we did not hear what God said. Call us rebellious because we did not allow ourselves to be ruled by him. The nation. No, them people, you can't trust them people, you know. They have one temple up in that place, you know. You say anytime you stay and pray, then God, a hell for you, you know. This was the kind of reasoning that Esau was making. Right? He was actually trying to tell the Babylonians, the Persians, the kind of person you were. But the Most High still allows Cyrus to restore the kingdom. But this time now, he said that he will restore it himself under Christ. Right? So that is why I said, shall come to happen, shall come to be the day that the Lord shall give you rest from your sorrow. All that you are going through today, these days, in this Babylonian empire, that day will come when you will begin, and it might just be our lifetime. All right? That we will get rest from this sorrowful torment that keep hitting us. You know, left, right, and center, you get hit by these kind of torments. Right. So you'll be getting rest from the sorrow, the fear. What's the fear? Now, we in Jamaica here, we might not understand that kind of fear. When you go on the road, say you would travel from here, go Kingston, right? What's the most thing you fear?
On the journey.
Hold on, make a young man answer. What's the most thing you would fear?
Yeah, the man who drive on the road.
How they drive terrible on the road. So the road, what I call it now? Road users. You more fear the road users. What would you fear?
Yeah, the same thing, you know.
Road users.
Road users.
The man them use the road to terrible or too careless. Okay. You live in America and you're traveling as a black man from point A to point B. What do you think your fear is?
The same thing.
No?
Oh, as a black man?
Yeah.
Policeman.
Your fear is being pulled over by a cop.
God.
You understand?
God.
I mean, you're in Jamaica and the cop pull you over. Once the cop pull you over, you go like this. Lord. Ticket him out, give me now. You in the States, you're a black man, black, Hispanic, and Native American man. The cop pull you over. Shit. Wonder if I'm going to live through this. Right? So the Most High knows. Boy, I tell you, you have to really admire the scripture, you know. When you compare these thousands of year-old writing with what is happening today, and you see the parallel, you say, hold on. Is it that we are in the person used this word this most time, in this space-time continuum, meaning, I mean, what is happening now, it actually happened already. But did we have cars? No. But really and truly, whichever kingdom have us under bondage, drive fear within our hearts. When you read Tobit in the time of the Persians, what were they doing? Killing you and leaving you in the streets. And any man who would bury you, that man is now wanted by the state or by the king to be killed. Because remember, that was what was happening to Tobit. Tobit have to be hiding until the Most High, say, boy, your works have been seen by the Most High, and He has sent help in your favor. Restore your sight and restore your household. Right? Tobit used to have to hide and bury people. Same thing when we were in the time of the Romans. Well, they were doing the killing by so many evilous ways. So our fear under these oppressors was being killed. But here you have it in the scriptures that was written over 2,500 years ago, that the Most High is going to give you rest from the sorrow that you're going through and from your fear. Right? So the fear that we had then wasn't the fear of road users or the fear that careless people are going to run into you. That fear was real. That fear is the same death, when you fear of the road users, you're afraid, say, them all a car might just carelessly crash into your vehicle and kill you. But the kind of fear that exists today in the Babylon Empire is you're driving and you're going, woo, 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 behind you. Then the heart is like, poof, poof, poof. You remember that you're black. You remember that you're an Israelite. And then you remember that, oh shit, I'm not in the truth. Because when you're in the truth, these things don't happen to you. Right? So the Most High promise you rest from that. And from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. All right. If you remember during the COVID time, which cities they open up first?
Jamaica.
No? Jamaica just two major cities.
No, I mean, if in Jamaica.
No, in the States. Which one are the cities they open up first? Talk about Babylon.
New York and
You don't have to call their name. You don't even have to remember their name.
Yeah.
All you know that they open up the cities in which blacks were the majority.
Good.
Georgia.
Oh, okay. Good.
New York.
Yes.
You name them.
Good.
These were the cities in which blacks were the majority in.
Good.
Why? Because these cities which had the majority of Hebrew Israelites were the money makers.
Good.
California have majority one.
Mexicans.
Right.
Hispanics.
Not a northern kingdom.
Good.
Money turning there to don't. All right. So still Israelites. So all these cities that are the Israelites turn money to get the other cities running. So they couldn't open the other cities first. There's no money. They open the ones that makes the money maker, so that they could put money from that, turn money into the other cities. Right? You have to understand how your oppressor kingdom run. And bit by bit, just as how the Most High says that he's going to expose secret parts, this is how they expose the secret part. COVID come, because prior to COVID, we never know how it run. After COVID, maybe the I.S.U.P.K hierarchy knew. Because really and truly, them studied these things from the seven elders, right? From that time, they studied things. So maybe they knew, right? Because the focus then wasn't which city making the money and all that. The focus was really waking up a brother. And we know which cities our brothers was in, right? So they might knew and don't pay much credence to it. But during the COVID, you hear Commanding General and bring it out. And they bring it out with emphasis. Why? Because this was the time now when it was showing up. All right. Just like how them treat the black actors. You remember that one that you brought out too? With the well, especially the music, those are the rappers who really making the money. And the actors too, who I think it was Viacom was the main one with the big money behind all them all those shows that keep degrading black people. We know that there were shows degrading black people, but it came out during the time of COVID. Commanding General YAHANNA got the information and he brought it out. Now, this is the hard bondage in which we were made to serve. The money-making cities, they don't have the richest black men. Well, let me not say the richest black men. They don't have rich black people. You have, in every city where the blacks, you have a few rich ones. But to say, okay, Georgia is a black state, that majority black, even the governor is black, right? So, you know, black people living good life there. No, that's not so.
Majority poor black people.
The majority poor black people, I think, is in Georgia. Yet still, it is the state that is making so much money off black people. New York, 5 boroughs, 5 rich boroughs. Who control that money?
Oppressor. So
this is what we are being made to serve, or we are being made to serve in this empire. So the Most High is saying He is going to give us rest from all that. And every time I read this and I get to understand more and more how the kingdom works, then I understand more and more why you're going to have the Battle of Jehoshaphat. Not the culmination of World War III, really. When all of the military power come down to that valley. Why? Why do you think they're coming for?
Fight Christ.
Why do you think they want to fight Christ?
Because they want to maintain having us in slavery.
They want to get you back. Because why? All right. Why do you think in Egypt, the Pharaoh, when the Most High took us out of Egypt, why do you think the Pharaoh came after us in the desert?
God.
I mean, remember, seeing the same way we were seeing the light in the sky guiding us, you know. They see this big darkness before them, and they know that behind it, the darkness was you.
Right.
Yet still they were following. What is it that would make you follow such? And it's not a natural sight, there's a normal sight, you know, a risky path. Thank you. What would make you follow such a risky path?
Missing the luxury of having slaves.
The reality that you can't go back without these people, because your cities back home are in ruin. So it's the same reason why they must come after you in Jehoshaphat to fight Christ, to try and get you back. Because really and truly, you are the money maker. Right? In Jamaica, you are the money maker, you know. You know, see them shut down the place during COVID, close the economy that the blacks would have, that the grassroots economy. And what happened? They said that the economy grew. But really and truly, those are the monies that will be circulating among our people. In the bars, the you know, dancehall,
Yeah.
the little jerk man,
Yeah.
right across the island. That money circulate among the Most High's people to keep them afloat.
For the 9 to 5 people that still go to work.
9 to 5 still going to work, right? Still getting their pay. There was no new investment, yet they record what?
So I don't remember the number now.
Remember our percent growth.
Yeah.
They said the economy made. It was just the money that you would have circulating among you.
Right.
Because they locked down the place now. You now have to go to the mainstream society to spend.
Yeah.
Right? Because remember the little jerk man couldn't come out, you know. You couldn't go a bar and go hold a drink. So if you really want a drink, what you do? You go in a supermarket or the wholesale and you buy a flask, a liquor, or you buy the quart.
Or the 6-pack.
You go buy you go buy a 6-pack of beer, keep at your home. So the money not circulate within the bar. You go straight to the mainstream. You are the money makers. And this is and they cleverly keep this from us, believing that we don't know nobody. It's kind of cunning, you know. Why? How you know it's cunning? The Most High said treat them back the same way. Right?
Okay.
Because they put you in such a lock, which you can't free yourself. So only the Most High can free you from it.
So you have a scripture where say the device, cunningly device fails.
With no, you know, really different. It's talking about those who make the false religion and give you. Because it's because of the false. Is it what you think really are keeping yourself? The false religion, you know.
Christianity, man.
Look at Christmas. The amount of money that black people find to spend. New Year's. Right? Yeah, we know other races spend money, but you spend the most. Why you spend the most? The other races spend and they go back to them. You spend, it goes to everybody. You don't come back to you.
Come back. Exactly.
So if for Christmas you had a $3 billion when you group all the blacks together, let's put a tag on it. Let's say it was a $3 billion spending power. And let's say the white man have had a $6 billion spending power. The white man spend his money. It goes back to the white man. So how much really go in the system? Probably half or less than half. You spend that you go spend your $3 billion. All that goes to these races. None come back to you. Because it's not like you buy your a lot of the presents that they buy, is that black store, they go buy it. Mr. Chin, who can barely speak English. You pass him story here, Feliz Navidad, and Harlem Christmas Carol. And him don't know what name Christmas. All him knows that people spend money and a lot of pretty things set up. Chinese don't celebrate Christmas. So this is the kind of bondage and the kind of effort that we are in. Under this oppressor. Right? But he said when the Most High has taken us from all this bondage, we're going to take up a proverb against the king of Babylon. And we're going to say, how has the oppressor ceased? How has this golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. What's a staff?
A staff is something that
Google, you're a Google. Right, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Staff. All
STAFF.
STAFF. They say employees basically. They say employees.
Oh, that is a different staff. This is like a staff for leading your flock.
One can a long stick carried in hand for support.
A long stick used as a support when walking or climbing or as a weapon. A shepherd's staff. So that staff is where you use to do what? What the shepherd uses staff to do?
To lead the sheep.
Right.
Guide the sheep.
Right. The shepherd walking with his staff in his hand. The staff serve several purposes. The sheep know that staff. They follow it. All right. Your oppressor has that staff leading you. How does he do that?
Through religions.
Thank you. Through the false religions that he gives you. He lead you into following that Christmas tree. He lead you into following the Queen of Heaven, Milcom, all these false gods. That is why he said the staff of the wicked. Remember the same way they talk about the wicked men of Israel. The wicked men of Israel guide you to follow those wicked men of the other races. Right? But this now is talking about Babylon's staff. How Babylon is leading you, the Most High's people. And he generally do so through oppression and his religion. He uses religion to keep your mind. You can never do enough in the oppressor's religion. If you are in the church, you're throwing the tithes, you're doing all the things that they say, and bad things start happening to you. Oh, sister, or oh, brother, you need to do some introspection, man. What is it that you're not doing? Maybe you need, the first thing I'll tell you, maybe you need to throw more, man. And get you now to believe that why the hard time that I'm going through is because I'm not giving him my money. I'm not listening to him the way I should. Which way plain and simply is the curse is licking your wheel. Is the curse is licking you.
Some pastor tell us say you need a part.
Not to mention that one. So about the one when I shave the woman, them chop them panty and I shave them front, ear front. And most some voodoo women that work on them use that frontal ear to do some trickery. But this is how our oppressors work. All right. Verse what now? 6?
Verse 6. Country. All right. Clive. We have verse 6. I'm going to read every 2 words. I will read it out loud. And the audience can't really hear me, isn't it? So we have verse 16. So find verse 6 there.
Yeah.
14 and 6.
Yeah.
Isaiah 14 and 6.
Yeah, I'm about 6.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah 14 and 6. He who, read loud, he who, make sure they are 6.
He who smote the people and
Easy. Yeah, this is the audience to the phone. I know that more I do. I know that more I focus. Just focus on that. See? I have to speak loud. He who, speak loud. He who, there are 6. The first 2 words. I'm going to read 2 words. See? So there are 6.
Facebook.
First 2 words. 2 words. He who
he who
smote the people,
smote the people
right,
of
in
in
wrath
wrath will
with
with
a continual
continual
reload,
stroke
he that
that
ruleth the
ruleth
nations
the nation
in anger
in anger
is persecuted
is persecuted
and none hindered.
and none hindered.
Hindered.
You can identify words, but not perfect.
All right, so
All right, no, just follow.
verse
Just follow along.
verse 6.
Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruleth the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered.
Right, none in what does before we go to all right. Before we go to 6. 5, we look for staff, but we didn't look for scepter. Give me scepter.
God. Gun, scepter, an ornamented staff carried by rulers or ceremonial occasions as a symbol of sovereignty.
Right. So it's a symbol of rulership.
Yeah.
So basically, what has broken from the oppressor? That symbol of rulership and that symbol that is used to lead you to follow him.
Yeah.
That's his staff.
Yeah.
And that staff is broken, and that scepter for his sovereignty is broken.
Yeah.
All right. And in 6, he said, he who smote the people in wrath. Boy, trust me, you can't want a more wrathful man smiting you than this oppressor.
Yeah.
Especially through in police.
Yeah.
Right? You can't want a more hateful oppressor than this one. He that ruleth the nations in anger. You remember, I think it was yesterday, the video that was out with Putin. Putin our oppressor too, though.
Yeah, God.
But I never rule Babylon.
Yeah.
Babylon make a statement against Putin because Putin sent some troop into Babylon to aid what their name? Kazakhstan.
Kazakh. Yes,
To aid they never call them Kazakhstanis.
So yeah, the same Kazakh, Kazaris, the same Khazari or something like that.
That's all.
Okay, so
Khazari are more
Kazakhstan.
Khazari are more with Poland and the other places.
Okay, good.
Right. Kazakhstan. I don't know if I about this. Right, so we can't find. I'm not trying to find the video. Putin sent his troop into Kazakhstan to help the Kazakhstan government. Right? Now, normally who people look to for aid, they normally look to like America or America allies.
Okay.
Especially since especially since during class then. Especially since the so we're train at all. Right. What we not talking about again?
Maybe Kazakhstan and Russia to Slovakia.
Facebook. How did I send you that clip again? Was it Messenger or WhatsApp?
Which one I do?
The one
We just come in a while.
no man, the one with Putin's state. I think that was WhatsApp. I think it was WhatsApp.
You mean the Gravitas news?
Right, the Gravitas
Yeah,
news.
WhatsApp. Go.
All right, let me see if we can find it. America trying to say, careful what you're doing there with Putin in the country. You know, you bring these Russians into your country, they don't leave. You know.
Yeah.
You want to try to tell Kazakhstan, say, you invite Russia into your country. Is after the camp speaking, I said?
Yesterday, before the camp speak. Unless it's a different video. If it's a different video, I don't see. That one was like a couple days ago.
All right, let me see. Send it to somebody.
Okay.
Send it to somebody.
Okay, good. Okay, you say Russia, right? Yeah, man, that is right. You say it. You say it.
Today?
After.
Early today?
Yeah, man. It's a link message. You know, see the video itself. You have to click it for verify.
Yeah, it's a link.
Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Play it in copy. I'm gonna come over to this place here. So now play it in bam. Paste. Enter. You know, these are all.
Monica, I just sent you the email with the client note.
You know, this on YouTube. As a click a video now, ads them. People advertising like crazy.
Monica.
So,
Thank you for joining us and
YouTube
welcome.
Oh.
I show me some ads on the cable.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, as you go into YouTube now, ads pop up. Sometimes the ads longer than the video that you're watching. So pandemic has done good for some and bad for some, because obviously they're making more money.
Yeah.
Obviously Facebook too. They're making more money through ads.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if we can catch it now from the start.
Your house, it can be difficult to stay alive and not be robbed or even raped.
Let's see. Play a little.
so much, then he should take if Anthony Blinken allows history.
All right. So it was Anthony Blinken. That's it. We're going to catch it back from when Anthony Blinken said something to the Russians.
Called Blinken's remark typically offensive.
Russia said, you know, that's an offensive remark.
Say that the country might have a hard time getting rid of.
All right, this is it. Add to stream.
To Kazakhstan, he said that the country might have a hard time getting rid of Russian troops. Russia's foreign ministry called Blinken's remark typically offensive. He has been accused of joking about tragic events in Kazakhstan. Russia also said that Washington should analyze its own track record of interventions in countries such as Vietnam and Iran.
So this man in America named Blinken, right in Babylon now. Because Russia said his troop to help Kazakhstan, and it's not in going in to help Kazakhstan. They talk about Kazakhstan need to be careful of these Russians, you know. When they come in their home, they don't want to leave. The Russians then take it offensive. Russians then say, no man, if Blinken love history lessons so much, you need to analyze what they have, how the American track record. Right? This is what him saying.
The statement also mentioned if Anthony Blinken loves history lessons so much, then he should take the following into account.
If you love history lessons so much, you need to take the following into account.
Americans are in your house, it can be difficult to stay alive. And
when the Americans are in your house, it can be difficult to stay alive and not be robbed and raped. That is so damn true. When they came to Jamaica, what happened? They could teach us how to terrorize people, how to terrorize each other. And is this what we're experiencing now, this killing spree thing in Jamaica is a result of them coming in, Americans, Babylon, coming into our house to teach. And this is the after effect. Just like when Russian man said, you know, it's difficult for you to stay alive and not be robbed and raped.
Not be robbed or even raped. Russia has further said that deployment of in Kazakhstan.
Trust me, this is the first we really see somebody clap America so still, you know.
A wicked comeback.
Yeah, man. Putin joke with Putin here, Blinken. There must be a blinking idiot. I tell Kazakhstan about the Russians then come in your place, in your house, then I want to leave. You love history lessons so much, you know, you need to analyze, take a note of this. When the Americans come into your house, it's difficult to stay alive and not be robbed or raped. Trust me, this is Babylon 101. They come in the house, they don't want to leave, and then you probably could be robbed or raped. Right? Just like the scripture says. The scripture says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that rules the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. So, Putin, Oppressor too yesterday, but trust me, let me give you a laugh.
Excellent comeback.
Putin a joke with them. Yeah. Putin are one of the roughest smart leader that Russia produced. You know, you see him this is the deception of the white man again. Putin is always smiling when he comes in public, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he always courteous and so on and so forth.
It was brutal.
All right. But we know that it didn't take a simple person to pull Russia out of that post-Soviet era when Russia became, when they talk about the list of countries that are capable to defend themselves, Russia was nowhere in the top 20. I think they fell to about 25 or so. They fell way down. And Putin pulled Russia from way down, probably in the top 3 now. Countries that are able to defend themselves, right? And he didn't do it by running to America and begging them money. He built the Soviet infrastructure and he built. Now, trust me, I would really love to can do some tracking of the Israelites that are in Russia and how they are putting them to work. Yeah, man. Just like how we learn now, China, how are the blood, sweat, and tear in China. Right there in Beijing. Beijing have over 1 million black people. Black Chinese looking people. I understand that if you travel to Beijing, you wonder, wait, so much black people in China? And Beijing is like one of the money-making city or province in China. So all these countries, that is why when the Most High move us from all these countries, all of them is going to collapse. One, the person, when we go to America or whichever country to work, we put work above our social, above socializing, above even family, right? We get up, we go to work, so much so that when a lot of these people, when they work and reach retirement, they have no use to themselves and to family. And very few of them live in a long time after. And those who live long after becomes lonely because they gave up their family to make wealth. Why? Because they are the slave. Slave don't get family time. That's the reality, you know. All right. So when the Most High change all of this now, and there is no one now willing to give up their families and their livelihood and social, their sanity to serve their oppressors, then the oppressor city is going to collapse. So they are going to come back for you. Yeah. But him now, being this low down grimy person that he is, has made himself into you seeing him as the one through his religion and his scepter, the way of him rule. Right? You now see him as the Bible tells us that Christ black. You have it in the Bible written there, and yet you still believe the white Christ picture and what the pastor say about what the Bible says. The Bible tells you that the angels are black, but you still believe the angels are white.
White flying babies.
And those that are even not babies, even if them see them as adults, they still see them as white. So this is how they hold you, by holding the mind. Right. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, meaning continually lash you. There's no easy no. Just like how Freddie McGregor said it. Every time I lift my head above the water, or something. He said, every time I lift my head above the water, there is some overnight scheme all worked out, designed to keep you down.
Okay, good.
Putting up a resistance, I've got to work it out. No, I putting up a resistance, I've got to work it out. This is he's saying from experience. It's all the true experience. You can look and sit down and say, hold on. But every time when me look like, yeah, I made this now, there is some overnight scheme for just keep it on, sink your back your head in the water. But you know, I got to keep fighting. I'm putting up a resistance. This is it right here we are reading about, which was written 2,000 years ago. This is the continual stroke. That overnight scheme that is all worked out, designed to keep you out, is a continual stroke over your back. What's that stroke? It equated it with the whiplash. Right? Whether you do good or you do bad, there is a lash. All right. Verse 7.
Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
So when the oppressor has been fallen, the entire earth will be quiet. So the most so that people, Babylon is falling. The other one wants to say is falling. Babylon has fallen. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Right? And we shall say, maybe when we're going to the battle, we say we're going to fight for Yahushua and his crowns of gold. Right? So this is so true. And verse 8.
Verse 8. Yea, the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedar and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us.
And the boy from the white man gone. From the white man become null and void, you know, and get cast down to the ground. Not even there's no what they have. They have this mass deforestation. When they bring in the equipment, clear acres of forest every year for timber. When they say you go buy one 2x4 or you go buy one whatever size wood, these come from the trees that Esau fell. These loggers, these logging company are some of the richest companies in the world. They are billionaires. And what makes them billionaires? The very trees that is in the environment. Because they know that people need timber to build their houses. But at the rate in which they are cutting down, there are other things that they can use, you know. You can use concrete straight, you know. So why? Because you want to make billions, you're going to destroy the environment by cutting down so many trees. But you know, the most I set the thing right still, because the effect of cutting down the trees used to cut the trap the carbon and prevent what they are talking about now, global warming. They cut down the trees now. Who is the global warming affecting? Them. Man, tornadoes come down on them and lick them like I don't know what. Freak floods, flood affect everybody, but you hear them now started. Do you remember last year in I think Germany, when the man said, these things don't happen to us. These things so happen like in the Caribbean. The Caribbean, in like Asia, in Chinese and the Philippines. They always have the flooding out and them things. Only to see their houses and cars being washed away too. Yeah, man. Yes, Mr. Oppressor. You and I too. As a matter of fact, who have the highest rates of COVID now? The countries with the highest vaccination rates. That equation is not right. That equation not right. The very ones that the most I want to lick, they are the ones getting the lick. With all the vaccine they have. This new variant Omicron, they say Omicron, you know, it reduce hospitalization has reduced. Yet still, America getting hospitalization like fly just the same. And Europe, they still getting hospitalization. So the most I reaching who we want to reach. Him give you a less, give you a less intense virus. And then with we can reach farther. But because it is less intense now, other people not dying so much. But it's still killing the oppressor. And closing down them cities. Like a nuisance to him. Right. So even the trees will be rejoicing when he's laid down. Verse 9.
Verse 9. L from beneath is moved for thee, is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their throne all the kings of the nation.
But this is L. What L? Heaven and L are conditions on earth. Right. You can remember that. But that is what we teach. That is what the Bible says.
Right.
Heaven and L are conditions on earth. Right. It's not as the white man teach you that heaven you're dead and you go to this paradise, and L you're dead and you go underground. They tell you that because they want to fight you in this lifetime. Keep you in L while they are in heaven. So these are conditions on earth. So when it says L from beneath is moved for thee, meaning the amount of people that is be in sufferation, that is going to widen. The ghettos are the ghetto life now. Garrison now going to be we again. You know. Going to be them. And then it's going to be bigger. You know, now what you have pockets of inner cities, areas, pockets. When the oppressor time come to go into hell, hell probably will be big like the whole of St. Andrew. And maybe like the whole of Jamaica. Whole of this land, big land space, put them in the ghettos.
It's like how the tornado just wipe out the entire city now. They have to start from scratch.
You know, this is another thing too. Or the most because when you look at America's wealth and thing, you say, how is this? How can you know the Bible say it, but you wonder if it's in your lifetime because you're looking at the wealth that they have, and you said, how are they going to lose the wealth? Because really and truly, money don't disappear in thin air. So when you hear they say this company collapse and lose so much money, it's somebody's pocket it going or other people's pockets because they don't vanish into thin air. So when you crack down America now, bam, yeah, because their money already spent and build these lovely cities, and people are living lovely life in it. So you come now and destroy this city. Where those people going to turn to now? They live in the remnants of the city most times. Or they might move out and go live in shacks the way they leave our people to do. Right? The place that used to employ them, that gone to. Right? Their houses that they work so hard to build, that gone. So this is how one of the ways in which they're gonna get beaten. Hit them right in the pocket. The most I know how to mash them up, you know? Right? So much so that it put them into sufferation. And that sufferation is the hell. So basically, sufferation going to increase. But it's not. This increase in sufferation is not geared at you. You have to know that.
It's like yes, forest fire just come burn down.
Forest fire in winter.
And snow afterwards.
But how comes?
Like snow afterwards is like the most I show them say, yo, I mean this.
I mean, you can't show this. You think, what you think?
Because
I think it's because it's winter. You can't get our forest fire.
Right. Because why the snow never come while the fire burn. It's so come right after everything burned down.
So it burned down the houses. They have no shelter, and then coal come. That's death. Hmm? So it probably so the same way Putin said when the Americans come in the house, it's difficult for you to stay alive. It's the same thing the Most High is turning back on them head, you know. Making it difficult for them to stay alive. And guess what? The times for forest fire will be coming. This is winter.
Winter now.
And you have forest fire.
Forest fire season are coming.
Forest fire season don't come in. So imagine when the forest fire season come. Oh, you're going to see burnings. Man. That's why I say, like it's our lifetime, you know. It's just that we now have to find a way to really stay on our feet. Because those of us who can't stay on our feet are going to go down with the oppressor. So I have to find ways to stay on our feet. The Most I say is going to shake the heavens. Trust me. Captain Khan gave an example the other day, which kind of shake the brain. You know, when these companies are now offering their employee more money to come to work, they started with the pilots, paying the pilot 3 times more than they would normally pay them. When that don't touch Jamaica. Yeah, so that time will soon come when they're going to pay you good money for your service. That is shaking the heavens for real. Trust me.
Exactly. You know, a scripture will say, you know what I mean, things are going cheap. Like, you know what I mean, coming soon, end time.
Oh, Revelation.
Yeah, things are going cheap and, you know what I mean, it will reach a stage.
Well, you know, that time happened really in the 70s, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Things got so cheap that they used to give away. They used to give away the bulgur rice. They used to give away milk powder. They used to give away clothes.
Yeah.
The things, because cheap, things get cheap enough. So they find ways to give them away.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it stopped. But during the time when it stopped, when they start giving away things to people, it's not like they couldn't afford to give away. They could, because what them started to know is dump the waste.
Okay.
Well, and they really waste, excess. They find ways now, rather than giving the excess to the poor, they dump it. Yeah.
So they could have still done that.
They could have still, even if it's not at the magnitude that they used to do it, they can still do it. America can still do it. This man that was running for president in America will say he will give every American $1,000 every month. What you think it was impossible? The first Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese, Asian.
The first Asian run for president in America.
Yeah.
Forgot how him name.
$1,000 every month.
Every month, I get $1,000 in your bank account, regardless of your race. You know when him said that part, regardless of race, I said, you just lose. Because trust me, the oppressor hate you so much that he would kill some of his people just to get you. You know how much poor white people you have in America?
Yeah.
A lot of poor whites you have in America. But the oppressor prefer to say, boy, you know, because to feed those whites, I could end up feeding a whole lot of black people. But then to hear what
Just that should be it.
this is the kind of oppressor that you serve.
Yeah.
Hate you so much that they will kill so many people for you,
Right.
just to get rid of you.
Yeah.
All right, verse what right now?
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Canada 1 can, verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Oh, you coming like us. You weak and broke and poor and I get like we.
Yeah.
You're coming like we now. Eh?
Yeah.
I really you in the rule this world. So you're coming like we now.
Yeah.
You're broke and poor and pauperized like we. This is what they shall say. Verse 11.
Canada 1 can, verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy violence, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Worm symbolism symbolical to how he will be treated in hell, how hell is going to receive him.
Yeah.
When the worm, if I Lord, imagine worms covering you. One year, they're full of sore is dead, you die, you're dying. But this is showing you the state that he's going to find himself in.
Yeah.
All right? And
the worms are like, you know what I mean, the other nations are the poor of the other nations.
the other nations are in there with him. That's why I'm saying, are you become like we? Is that we attack him coming like we now, you know?
Yeah.
Is the all right, wait a second.
Exactly.
And all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Yeah.
All right, this is the other nations.
Yeah.
All right, because the verse before it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Yeah.
Means poverty makes space
Yeah.
to receive Esau, right?
Yeah.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, the nobles. It has raised thee up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. So,
Yeah.
them nations, king and thing, they will find themselves in the ghettos too.
Yeah.
Just like when Christ born, where was he born? In the ghetto. A fishing village in the ghetto. But he was of royal bloodline.
Right.
So don't bother think that this is far-fetched. Right? and then it says after that, all they, other nation that speak shall say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us, broken and pauperized like we?
Yeah.
All right, verse what now?
Verse 12.
12.
Verse 12. O art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? O art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations?
Right. How did he weaken the nation? He ruled over all of them.
Yeah.
Gave no strength to these nations. The Chinese managed to build a military.
Yeah.
The Chinese sent spyware.
Yeah, to America.
Spyware right in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
The Chinese sent spyware.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you when it happened. You see, when George Bush, the son, was ruling,
Yeah.
it happened under his rulership. I remember one speech he made and him say, all our military secrets are gone to China. And then then close the loophole. That's how China started building tankers and aircraft carriers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then them say, anyways, it's gonna take them a while to, start putting out these equipment. They put them out faster than America did expect.
Yeah. God.
But it was American military secrets they stole.
God.
America couldn't do nothing about it. Just send spyware upon them and go in a Pentagon and take out everything, which was why now who came in after Bush? Obama. Right. What happened under Obama? They retooled the entire army. Who come in after Obama? Trump. Trump retooled the entire army again. That is why the military budget gets so high now. Because your enemy get the whole of your military secret. But you had some which they didn't get. So you start make those equipments, which them don't know about. Then gone with the things when everybody know about. They know to make everybody have some version of F-16. So what America coming with now? Super fighters and things. You have the F-32 or 35 or something like so. Right. But you find say China coming like say the Chinese, they look like when you sleeping they working. Because the speed at which they are China now in a hypersonic missiles and flights. America is way behind in these hypersonic technologies. And they said we don't understand one of the reasons why China want Taiwan. Taiwan make all these chips. China have some things coming out. So what you have to know? Give them the information how to make these chips. Now, when I want to give you anything, I come take the whole factory and thing, we make them. In that way, we will be making chips for America and for Russia and for everybody else. So we got to know their secrets too. So this is why America can't make that happen. It's regardless of how they talk about the one China policy. If China really invade Taiwan, they will have to come to Taiwan's defense for their own sake. Because Taiwan make them cheap too. So the battle just gets sweeter. The battle just gets sweeter. But like I say, we don't pray to see you fight, Mr. Oppressor. We pray for redemption. If my redemption means you fight and kill each other, so be it. It's your fault. You can't blame we. Right? While you have us in slavery, you're out there gallivanting. Now the most I say we should be free. Well, putting you to war to free us, it's your fault that you shouldn't tie yourself so deep. But anyway, we're not praying for you to fight. We're praying for freedom. But our freedom means something for you that is not so friendly. What your business that? All right, what verse we at now?
So this proves that Lucifer, sir, is not.
Lucifer is a white man. The white man is Lucifer. Esau's descendant, he is Lucifer.
That's right.
He said, "How art thou fallen from heaven?" What is that heaven? That glorious, prosperous state, and that he is now enjoying on this earth. Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which this weakened the nation. 30.
Another one come, verse 30. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
All right. So him want to say himself, man, I'm going to build myself up in heaven, in prosperity.
Yeah.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Who is the stars of God?
The Israelites.
The Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the stars of God. So he will exalt himself above you. How him do that? Give the white Christ.
Right.
Do it that way, but that is the main way. That's all he needs to do. Give you the white Christ, man. Give you the white Christ. And what do you do with it? It promotes white supremacy, what we call white supremacy. Whereas you look at the white man as being supreme. above all nations.
Yeah.
All because of that white Christ. It is very powerful to the psyche of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this world. Right? Let me just share these. Let's let other people get. Right. So he will exalt himself above us. He will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. You know, it's a mountain. Mount. As in mountain. And mountain means what?
Rulership.
Rulership, government. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can't set up a government where Esau and over. We here in Jamaica and the Caribbean, children of Ireland, they can touch it themselves. Without the oppressor said, touch it. Right? We find oil. We can't even touch it. Right? You check all the Israelite government. Who is above them? Esau. He will sit, he will exalt himself and sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Why it says the sides of the north? Not just North America, but the most important point are placed in a in a room. Whichever way the room is oriented, you are in the room. The north is where the head table is. Yeah, man, you have something, and that's where Esau is, you know, man, right at your head table. Right. Esau is right at the head table there, exalting himself. And what else him say now?
Another one gone, verse 40. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
He wants to be like God.
God.
So he's going, sorry. He is going to that heights in which he is what?
Another one gone. I will be like the Most High.
In which he will be like God.
God.
That is what he is seeking to be. God-like.
God.
All right. You see, all them UFO disclosure or something. If you notice, you know, you never see them show you a black angel. You know?
Yeah.
And it always always a cover up. What do you think this cover up is about?
Hide the fact that the angels them black.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
They don't want to show you all of them as some big guy, white, well, and they always well white, milk white, whiter than the white man.
White like white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one which they say part of the cover up is all right. One of the man when him decide to have a talk, you know, them said to him, say, well, would you sure you want to talk? I mean, just remember that full disclosure might just destroy the church.
Church.
Yeah.
Oh.
Them said that. I'll show it in one video. Okay. And I'm like, really?
What speaking about the Catholic Church.
Christianity in general.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So part of the cover is in protection of the church.
Okay. Okay. So what church have to do with UFO?
All right. Remember they said that they see occupants in them. Man.
Yeah.
All the angels, all the church show you angels to
looking like white people.
Okay.
Okay, so
when you go disclose now, say some nigger looking man we see, you know.
Yeah.
What is going on?
It have a mash up the church.
Exactly.
But when I say that sarcastically, like say, when UFO have to do with the church, that they must say, yo, it about what affect the church unless we
Is
are
what
some-
they see, man. Is what they see. The occupants
God,
of the
God,
UFO
God.
that they have seen. The secrecy is in hiding. Not hiding that there was a UFO, but
Yeah.
the contents, the persons
Yeah.
that you see on the UFO.
God.
Remember, I know you have the Bible in front of you, and him still can't manage to convince you that Christ white.
God.
So you don't see the UFO yourself.
Yeah.
You not seeing the UFO yourself. He
Right,
can't tell
right.
you anything.
Right.
So full disclosure might destroy the church, him say.
Right.
Right. And it's all because of what you're reading about in 13 here, because he want to ascend in that height of prosperity, exalt himself above the throne, above the blacks, Hispanics, and native Israelites who are the stars of God. He will also sit on over any government that is over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The mount of the congregation are us in the sides of the north, the most important places. All right, our government answerable to who? United Nations.
Right.
That's one of the most important. That's like the side of the north.
Right.
Right? The most important point. If when UN ambassadors come to Jamaica, you have to give them king treatment, you know. They are the sides of the north. If you invite them into a meeting, they are not the back of the room, you know. Oh no, 15.
Can verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
So even though you do all this great thing, yet you still gonna be brought down into sufferation.
Yeah.
You're going right there in the garrison.
Yeah.
You're going right there to be broken and pauperized like how black people broke and pauperized under your empire.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is telling you. Verse what now? 16.
Verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and can consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the what?
Is this the man?
Is this the man? This is talking about Lucifer, who is descended.
Right.
Lucifer is not Satan. We're not telling that Satan. Because Satan is a white man as well.
Yeah.
But Lucifer is not that angel of darkness that the church will profess to be the devil. Right? Lucifer in this scripture is a man.
Right.
Who has exalted himself above the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites of the Bible. He has exalted himself above God's people. He wants himself to be equal to God. Just like we have talked about. Right? So they that see you, you know, just squint up your eye and look and say, let me say, me I see good. Like this. Narrowly look up at you. That is what they are saying. And consider thee, saying,
and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
When you look and you see this broken, pauperized set of people hauling plowshares and sweeping the street and doing all the poverty works.
Yeah.
You can say, just like when you go in America, you see a white, they call them white trash. Yeah. White man name him white trash, you know. I show you how them stay though. And the black people call it white trash, you know. White people name him white trash. Right? Just like when you blacks go to America, or you make certain strides and you see some poor whites come up to you and beg you, you look at you say, me fi give him sitting at a film kingdom, all he need to do is go shave up himself and write one business plan and go approach a bank. And him get the money. You think that we can just get up and go bathroom and bathe and change your clothes and sufferation come off? I would wish. We wish. All right. So this man now made the earth to tremble and him shake kingdoms. 17.
Verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of his prisoners.
Make the may destroy the cities there. Remember when they dropped the bomb upon Hiroshima? Never shake. Yeah, man, destroy cities. One bomb. That is power, you know. You see when that happened? That was what made all other nations fall in place under the white man. Because they don't want, because their nuclear bomb was on a production line. Even though they want to roll out that power wheel. Now this bomber that dropped this bomb flew so high, traveling so fast, and yet still was not able to get away from the turbulence from that bomb. And that bomb is chicken feed to the ones that they have now. So that is that now. This is why you have the nuclear race, because other nations now have to show him say, boy, you drop that power we have, we can drop it on you too. Right? And this is how he understands strength and power. When he was beating up his chest about Chavez and Venezuela and thing, the Russians, yeah, Putin is the same oppressor, but he know how to counteract Babylon. He just fly 2 nuclear bombers, then go park up in a Chavez yard, in a Venezuela. Madura, it wasn't Chavez then. Just go fly them and go park them up on a Madura yard. America said, really? You're really ready to go this strong behind him? All right, let me back off. They back off in with the talking, but Venezuela still in turmoil. Yeah. But at least they, you know, certain things ease off, certain pressures and things, and always in the news and the great suffering that the people going through, and it's still there, but America have to quit now. You can't have way to push war upon them now, because another oppressor willing to back it with his nuclear power. Right. Have to ease off. And this man opened not the house of his prisoners. Yo, when me just come in the truth, you know, and I read Deuteronomy 28, and we start learn how much the equation. Well, before I even come in the truth, I look at the, and this was one of the reasons why me never did like America. As he said, I would go America. Yeah. When I look at the ratio of the population, blacks were about something like 20% of American population at the time. 13. Yeah. All right. No, sorry, not blacks being 20%. 20%. 80% was the white man, 20% was other nations, other nations, right, that were not white. And out of that 20%, yeah, probably about 13% are the black Americans. Yet still, when you look at the prison population, 80% of the prison population come from 13% of the population. So no, man, this is a definite Texted target to put these people in prison. It got me growing angry unto this day, right? So much so that, you know, in Christ come, me fly when I bomb a female. I want me fly one of them bomb for Christ, man. And then help him drop some of them, whatever I'm dropping on the white one. Yeah, I could have a source of stone. What you can mash up in place and free with people them over there. Anything. When they say, how about that one? You go, fly. White man, get rid of it. Thank you, sir. No, but then thank you, sir, Rose. Guess. Another one, con. Yeah, man. That is what we want to see, man. Right. This is, and yet still, here it is. 2,500 years before it actually happened. God. Precise description. But the Most High is clever. You can't outsmart the Most High. I'm sure when they were reading this, they didn't understand it.
Like this never happened.
Not like this never happened. So the Bible is fairy tale. Probably that's why they make we get it.
Yeah, because I must say, well, not much.
They give them it's fairy tale. Not much in it.
When they give it now, we say, what are we this?
Right.
God.
And then these things start to come out into the light.
God.
Until now they want to take it back. Too late.
God.
All right. So this now is, all right, what was it, 18? Hold on, pause and give me 2 Corinthians 11 and 13.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ.
All right. False apostles. Who are these false apostles? Them same, we see them come in Jamaica and buy tools.
God, morons.
We are the morons.
Morons.
Yeah.
God.
Morons walking tools.
God.
Right?
God.
Deceitful workers. What they come out here to do? Deceive you.
Right.
They tell none of us that we are children of Israel.
God.
Transforming themselves into apostles of Christ.
God.
When Christ never did have none of them in the 12, nor in his followers. But now they are telling you that Christ is for everybody. Jesus is for everybody. The Most High sent his son to die for all of us. Yet still, you want in that heaven that you create.
Right.
Any black man who enjoy your heaven, look at Oprah Winfrey enjoying the heaven, and look how Oprah Winfrey have to be treating black men to be where she's at. You think Oprah, you see, when you ever watch Oprah December shows, you know, I don't know if she did it this year, gone. Oprah was show, the last show in the year, well, managed to give away a lot of cars. You get a car, and you get a car, and all the white people get a car.
No black people.
Maybe start give 1 and 2 black now for making it look too bad. I don't know. But you look at all these black stars and how they have to treat their own people just to reach somewhere. Yeah. They transform themselves into apostles of Christ, deceitful workers. Verse 14.
God, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Why the Most High call him Satan? It's a white man him talking him.
Okay, God.
Why him call him Satan?
Because he the works of Satan.
Because he's the one perpetrating the works of the
Satan.
Is that a name one used? Paul Llewellyn is one again.
Jamaica Satan.
Prosecutor.
Yeah.
Right. Satan is the prosecutor for the Most High. So the white man is the one now doing the works of the Most High's prosecutor.
Yeah.
The ones that come and tempt you to show the Most High. You know, word if you get the kingdom when we plan to, the Most High plan to put on earth. Yeah. Man, what's his name? Andre. What you want to call him? What you want to give me a Kairon? No, sir.
Kairon, where? Andre now.
Yeah. No. Him. No, sir. And I look at the young man and say, young man, you? But you want to go in a Christ's kingdom? No, sir.
Never be no more than a Christ.
That is how Satan playing head, you know. And put all man of every head to prove to the Most High, say, you're not ready for being in the kingdom until you start believing. Oh, you're ready for truth. No. I say, yeah, you hear me? Me never ready. Anything you want. But that's how, that's exactly. So this is how the deceit, you're working through the white man under this deceitfulness has turned the Most High's kingdom upside down, has turned earth, not earth as in the physical earth, but liberty, what do we put it, upside down. Make good look like evil, and evil look like good. Every man is sent, Satan and man transform himself into angel of light. Means light is something where you use to guide your way. But if it's Satan and it's him you're going to use to guide your way, what you're searching for? You're searching for eternal life, you know. All them religions sit on the face of the earth, searching for one thing, eternal life. And there's one nation the Most High show. And those are the ones that are in the Bible. We have been walking the walk. Right? No nation has been walking the walk. That is why the kingdom of heaven will be coming to us. But Satan have managed to guide people and say, I am the light. But really and truly, him is a low down, dirty, grimy bastard. All right, let's see if we can find it. The curse of Cain. Let's see if we can find it. Genesis 4:9-16.
God, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Read on.
God, verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Right, so in killing brother and bury him, believing that nobody see. Verse 11.
God, verse 11. And now art thou cursed for the earth, from the earth,
right,
which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
All right. So man used to dead, but murder wasn't in the earth.
God.
So Cain brought murder. All right, and this is what the Most High said to him.
God. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
So this is the same spirit that was placed on Esau. Fugitive and a vagabond. You remember when Esau's father blessed him and him say what? Bless him with what? The sword. Right. He said, by the sword you shall live, and so on and so forth. Which means, you know, you have to kill people to take what they have.
Right.
It's the same thing here. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be. It means they have to always in running and live nowhere. That is why they're everywhere. At least we were taken. We don't run from place to place in the earth, really. We were taken captives. All right.
God, verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
My punishment is bigger than when me can bear. Me can't go live out this. I don't punish. I kill you. Continue.
God, verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Everybody who find him want to kill him.
Yeah.
So the Most High set a mark. Read the next verse.
God, verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
All right. So when it comes to Esau now, he didn't have to set a mark. Esau was already a different nation in the womb of his mother. So he born under that same curse. That when he sold his birthright, and even though the prophecy says that what? The younger shall serve, the older shall serve the younger. That's a prophecy. Right? Then him gonna want, because him hungry and serving birthright, selling birthright. All right. And then the blessings of Esau now. Esau blessing, Genesis 27, all right, 40 to 42. Let me see what it says. Genesis 27. Verse 40 say.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and 40. And by thy word shalt thou live. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right, so that's why them ruling in these last days, because he has broke our yoke. Because the Most High said, by the sword you shall live. Now you living by the sword, just like the gunman. What him doing? Living by the sword. It was a low down, dirty, grimy bastard. That was Satan. That is Esau. But what it says in 2 Corinthians again.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter
2 Corinthians 11
and 30 or 40.
Yeah, 40.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
That's it. That's key. The white man is the devil they by speaks of. 2 Corinthians, I will say again.
11 and 14. From 13 and 14.
Hold on. 2 Corinthians 11. Okay. 13. Right. Satan himself transformed into the angel of light. 15.
Verse 15. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.
Who is Babylon's ministers? His allies. Those who does his services. Same other European nation, them and thing. So that is why when him go down, them going down too. As them going down according to them works. All right. Back to, all right, before we go back to Isaiah. All right, but I think we need to touch Babylon is falling. Back to Isaiah 14. We were at what? 18.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house.
Verse 1.
That are verse 18.
All right. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in the glory, everyone in his own house. That's how they are living now. Go on.
Verse 19. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch.
But you will be cast out just like something without regards. Go on.
And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
You'll be treated with no worth.
Right.
Treated like the low down Grammy bastard you are.
Right.
We got signed treaty with them from the time of the Maccabees. They kept none.
Right.
The Indians signed 300 treaties with them. All the American Indians know is that white man speak with forked tongue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Low down dirty Grammy bastard.
Yeah.
But we see them as the ones to look up to.
Yeah.
But the Most High say, even though the people them look up to you like this, you shall be treated like the low down Grammy bastard you are.
Right.
21. 20.
Verse 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
Right. So then do this thing. Most I want to kill someone with doing about it. I will kill we with them.
Yeah.
21.
Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for iniquity.
When I read that part, I read this strong. Prepare slaughter for his children,
Right.
for the iniquity of their fathers.
Right.
So, wow, Babylon, you're picking in them all get slaughtered.
Right.
Just like how you kill our children. Right? You have been doing that to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for hundreds of years.
Right.
Same thing coming back to you. Continue.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Right. So do what? Kill them out so that they don't rise.
Right.
Woo. So that means even though hell have prepare room, expand for him, so that he become broken and pauperized like us,
Yeah.
kill him same way.
Right.
Pack him up in our prison houses.
Yeah.
Right? What's the word? The emasculate his men.
Right.
Turn them, we're not going to turn nobody for a minute, because we don't want that road. We don't want that road, right? So that is why the Most High give you the straight sword.
Yeah.
So I'll kill you with homosexuality, because we don't want that road we.
Yeah.
Done by that. And that is maybe that's one of the reasons why we get to kill them.
Yeah.
Because they go on to them things there.
Yeah.
Our laws say homosexual should be put to death.
Right.
So all we need to do is to execute our laws anyway.
Yeah.
We don't need to do nothing like we do it in terms of killing more than just you catch him and eat pork, you kill him.
Right.
You catch him and eat crab, shrimp, and lobster, kill him. You catch him sleeping with another man. You're going to catch him woman and woman. You're going to catch him sleeping with animals. An oppression. It's just justice. Brethren, we're not praying for your downfall. We're just executing our laws. Too bad you don't follow it. Just like how you lock up your televisors and us and lock us up in your jails. Now, all we're doing is executing our laws. It's a prepare slaughter for his children. And all that is because of the iniquity that their fathers have done. The father teach them to celebrate Christmas. So we don't catch them celebrating Christmas. Oh, idolatry, sword. We have in Passover and them say, we're going to have an egg hunt. Oh, you're worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Sword. Today is my birthday. Ah, sword. Anything you know, sword. can't escape. Sword. Right. Next verse.
Verse 22. For I will rise up against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon name and remnant and son and nephews, saith the Lord.
All right. He's a man, them I'm going after. You know. Sons and nephews, and so the sons are the direct descendants, the nephews are wherever them in Europe, you know, his brother's children. Right. Cut them off. The name of Babylon shall be no more. And those who have managed to escape that slaughter and find places to hide in the earth, those are the remnants. Even them, you're going to hunt and kill. Them. Glorious day. 23.
Verse 23. I will also make it a possession for the bitter and pools of water.
And search what bittern is.
Bitter, a large marsh bird of the Aram's family, which is right in that.
All right, so it's I will also make it a possession for the bittern. Okay, so it's a bird. And pools of water. Okay, it's a marsh bird. So you're going to need water. So yeah, pools of water. And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction. What besom is?
Besom, a broom made of twigs tied round a stick.
Oh yes, we see that a lot. People that have cut the little, they have a bush that they call broom. It's a broom. That's what we have. They make a lot of them in Canaanites. So what the Bible call it, a besom. So imagine when you sweep cleaning. That's how destruction going to take them. And them outside sweeping. Woo. That is why they are having forest fire in winter. What are they going to have in summer then? If they have forest fire in winter, what are they going to have in summer? Snow. Snow starling there in summer. Then shall we know that the Most High is at work. All right. We'll close with Revelation 12 and 9.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. Like you have it.
Remember. Last book.
12 and 9, yeah. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
This is not describing anything spiritual out there, really. This is just describing the white man's destruction. Right? So all who want to believe that angel did the name Satan and will get cast down, and all them angel and about 1/3 rebel against God. No, there is perfect harmony amongst the Most High. No, this is the works of the white man telling you, taking it from himself, obviously reading and knows it's him. So keep your eyes in the skies and say, an angel is going to be cast out from from heaven with his other angels with him. But the heaven is what? that state of prosperity that they are in, and that's the white man and his other, the white man, Babylon, America, and his other angels, those who give service to him, is going to be cast out with him to the earth, meaning down to the ground. No rulership, life of servitude and sufferation, and you become poor and pauperized, like how we put our people in the ghetto to become poor and pauperized. And let us killing us each. The same gun with them make, you know, you just give them back, you know. They're going to kill them one another with it. Yeah? You give them that same gun. Because now they are in heaven and they're killing each other. Just imagine when nothing amongst them. They're going to kill each other just the same. All right? Questions?
No questions.
No. All right, so with that, we pass the class to Priest and Officer Kayado.
All right, clap it up. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, there are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or a sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'aishah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the Feast of Purim. This is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. This is Monday the 14th of February and Tuesday the 15th of February. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, it is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that we say I'm married, which means to stand. Saralapanya Akodam, which means turn, face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamaya.
Shabashamaya.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Ai.
Ai.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwatka.
Malakwata.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Atazaka.
Atazaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baratiza.
Baratiza.
Kaw.
Kaw.
Aya.
Aya.
Bashmaya.
Bashamaya.
Nathanaw.
Nathanaw.
Nakam.
Nakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakla now.
Wasalakla now.
Kawabwat now.
Kawabwat now.
Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kawabwatya now.
Kawabwatya now.
Wala'a.
Wala.
Tabaya now.
Tabaya now.
Wanasaya.
Wanasaya.
Aba.
Aba.
Awashai now.
Awashai now.
Maya.
Maya.
Right.
Right.
Kai.
Kai.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wa'ala.
Wahala.
Watapara.
Watapara.
Iwalamya.
Iwalamya. Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it. Amen. Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the name of Yahweh,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
that speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers and the school.
Israelite brothers in the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites
to the Edomites
and their nation
and their nation
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
the court
the
system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
Skinheads,
Skinheads,
Posse Comitatus,
Comitatus,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet and the airwaves,
Open up the internet and the airwaves,
the cable access channel,
cable access channel,
and the radio channel.
and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop us,
and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
that stand in the way,
that stand in the way,
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
and try to stop us from broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
through the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
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 Cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues shake
Let the plagues shake
the house of the thief and the murderer.
the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucer
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angels that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media,
throughout the whole world.
through the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always so be.
Thank you always so be.
Pray for the power.
This is the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh.
Babakosha.
Babakosha.
Nathana now.
Atlanao.
Aka.
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 Larpa.
Larapa.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakalmadawa.
Kalmadawa.
Aka.
Aka.
Lata'a.
Lata.
Amatazaraya.
Matazar.
Aka.
Aka.
La'akwaya.
Lakwaya.
Amafia.
Amatia.
Aka.
Aka.
Arakawa.
Arakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Agarasha.
Agarasha.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh.
THAWADAH.
THAWADAH. In English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be.
Thank you, so be it.
Blessings.
This is the prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh.
Barakla now.
Barakla now.
Bayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a.
Waha.
Bayatsaparia.
Wayat Sapar.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa.
Magan.
Magan.
Agan.
Agan.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
The generals.
The general.
Captains.
The captain.
Officers.
The officer.
Troopers.
Trooper.
Young men.
The young man.
And the sisters.
And the sister.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh.
THAWADAH.
THAWADAH. What you have just said in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh. Bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be.
We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I.M.A.D.U. Shabbat. I.M.A.D.U. Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yadamata. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters that may be watching online. Men of Israel. I.M.A.D.U. Shabbat. I.M.A.D.U. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatam Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yadamata. Class dismissed. Excellent class.
Yeah. All right, to our online viewers, remember to like, subscribe, share. Sorry. Remember to remember to pay your tithes, ISUPK.com, so that Commanding General YAHANNA can build the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans up for Christ. All right. Until we meet again, I say shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.